Hello guys, in this video we will discuss about what is e-commerce law. Electronic commerce, commonly known as e-commerce, refers to the internet-based industry of buying and selling products or services via electronic means. E-commerce uses a combination of internet technology, mobile commerce, electronic fund transfers, escrowing services, electronic data interchange, supply chain management, inventory management systems, internet marketing, data collection systems, many other electronic technologies and innovative business systems. Most, if not all, e-commerce transactions use the internet of for at least one point of transaction. E-tailing. While e-commerce can take on many forms, one of the most common practice related to electronic commerce is a practice of e-tailing, also known as the virtual storefronts. This is the practice of listing products for sale in a catalog format on the website. Some e-tail sites, perhaps most notably Amazon.com, take this step further and aggregate numerous smaller stores into a unified system like virtual mall. The first ever law enacted by Government of India on e-commerce was Information Technology Act 2000. It was enactment to give effect the unsettled model law on electronic commerce. 1996. The General Assembly of United Nations adopted a resolution on January 1997 commending the model law on electronic commerce for a favorable consideration by the member states as a model law when they enact or revise their law. In view of the need for the uniformity of law applicable to the alternatives alternatives to paper-based methods of communication and storage information. Main aim of the IT Act was to provide legal recognition to the transaction carried out by the system by means of electronic data interchange and through the other electronic means of communications commonly referred as a electronic commerce or e-commerce. IT Act facilitates the e-commerce and e-governance in the country. It, pro- it contains the provision for legal recognition of electronic record, digital signatures, rules for attribution of e-record, uh, attribution of e-records for mode and manner of acknowledgement for determining the time and place of the dispatch and receipt of the electronic record. The Act also establishes a regulatory framework, lays down the punishment regime for different cyber crimes and offences. Significantly, under the Act, the Certification Authority is a focal point around which the Act provides as the most of provisions are relating to regulation of certification authorities, the appointment of the controller of certifying authority, the grant of license to certifying authority, the recognition of foreign certifying authorities and duties of subscriber of digital signature certificates. It also made the offenses like hacking, damage to computer store code and publishing of information which is obscene in electronic form, breach of confidentiality and privacy, and the fraudulent grant and the use of digital signatures punishable. Further, it provides for the civil liability, the cyber contraventions and criminal violations penalties, establishment of adjudicating authority, and cyber regulatory appellate tribunals. The related provision of the Indian Penal Code 1860, the Indian Evidence Act, the Bankers Books Act, and the Reserve Bank of India Act were also amended to address the related issue of the electronic commerce, the electronic crimes, and evidences, and to enable the further regulation and regard the electronic fund transfer. Information Act, Information Technology Amendment Act 2008 incorporated the information technology to give the implementation of unsettled model law on electronic signature 2001 in India. The IT Act of 2000 was amended to make technology neutral and recognize electronic signature over restrictive digital signatures. The Act brought many changes such as introduction of the concept of e-signature, amendment of definition of intermediary, beside the state assumed specific power to control website in order to protect the privacy on one hand, and check possible misuse leading to tax evasions on the other hand. It is important to note that this act recognized the legal validity and enforceability of the digital signature and electronic record. For the first time in India, also to give the emphasis on the secure digital signature and secure electronic records. These changes were brought in attempt to decrease the incidence of the electronic forgeries and facilitate the e-commerce transactions.